Welcome back to Making the Madness on YouTube. What we're doing here, a short little series. We are going to go through each region. Uh, we're not at the Sweet 16. We've got four teams from each region. We're going to go through and predict who's going to the Final Four from each region. We've had the games down to, we have the games through. And now we are going to break it down. We've got four teams each region. We're starting out here with the Midwest region. Uh, it's going to be interesting to see who ultimately does prevail, but we're going to predict every game. First one here, Oregon State against Loyola Chicago. Sean, who do you like?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Loyola Chicago here. I like the defense that the Ramblers put out there. Lucas Williamson locked up Io DeSumo in the game where Loyola beat Illinois last week. And Cam Krutwig is one of the best passing big men in the country. He does it all. He can score. He's such a talented player and can definitely carry the Ramblers in this one. I think Braden Norris's shooting ability is going to be a key here. He's 13 for 25 in the last 5 games from deep. That's over 50%. I think he's going to be a big factor in this one. For Oregon State, there's a lot of talent on the team. Obviously, they've had a lot of guys step up recently. I think Ethan Thompson is going to have trouble getting by Lucas Williamson. So guys like Jared Lucas and Gianni Hunt will have to step up if Thompson struggles against Williamson. I just don't see a way Oregon State wins. I just think Loyola is significantly better.
Yeah, I would agree. Loyola is a better team. Uh, you just looking at this matchup, I think Williamson can slow down Ethan Thompson, and then for Oregon State, they've really gotten some good performances. Maurice Kalou was obviously big in their win against Oklahoma State. Jared Lucas has stepped in. I think he's a really kind of underrated piece. But you've gotten some good performances from players you don't really necessarily trust to step up every game, and credit to them for doing that. But at the same time, I want to see if that can maybe continue. I don't know if we'll see Maurice Kalou dropping 15 this game. So in terms of the team who's been more consistent this year, I think it's Loyola Chicago. Uh, I think they can win the game ugly. I think they can win the game. They'll control the pace. I think it'll be a slow tempo basketball game, and I think that in a major way plays right into Loyola Chicago's hands. I'm rolling with the Ramblers as well. I just think they're a better team here.
Absolutely.
And then the next game, it is Syracuse against Houston. I think this one probably has the chance to be one of the closest games in the Sweet 16 matchups. This is a Houston team. You've got Dejan Jarreau, who's going to be probably a little bit limited with the hip injury. I think Quentin Grimes, Marcus Sasser, Tremont Mark are all solid options. Houston will certainly try to dominate on the defensive glass or offensive glass as well. Uh, but Syracuse, I think the Orange are playing really good basketball. So I think this game has a good chance to be very close. I'm going to roll with Houston to win the game, but I think it'll be by no more than a possession or two.
Yeah, I think Syracuse wins. Without a healthy Dejan Jarreau, this Houston team is significantly different. Obviously, they're in a crash of glass. Syracuse struggles to rebound because of their zone, and Houston's one of the best rebounding teams in the country. So if Syracuse doesn't get out rebounded by too much, I think they'll be able to win here. Buddy Boeheim should have a big game. Alan Griffin could certainly have a big game. He hasn't had a great tournament, but he's a really talented player. And Joe Girard hit 4 threes in the win over West Virginia. I'd look for him to get it going once again. And hopefully Kadari Richmond gets some minutes because he's super talented and his physicality could play good against Houston. I think that Syracuse moves on to the Elite Eight here, though.
All right, we've got you've got Loyola against Syracuse. I've got Loyola against Houston. Uh, we're picking it out. Do you think Loyola is advancing?
Yeah, I do. I think Loyola Chicago's headed back to the Final Four. They have the second best defense in the country by Ken Palm's defensive efficiency rankings. They haven't allowed more than 60 points in any of the last 19 games since they lost to Indiana State January 10th. They've only allowed 60 points or more one time, and it was to Georgia Tech in the round of 64, a game Loyola Chicago won by double digits. So I think that continues here, and I think that Loyola Chicago is rambling on to the Final Four once again.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Loyola as well. I just think Houston, I think they'll beat Syracuse. But when you look at Houston, they've played one team ranked inside the top 25 this entire season. You've got to step up in competition. You've got a team that will control the pace. And, unlike Rutgers, I think Loyola Chicago is a team that will not fold under the pressure, that I think can execute late game, late clock situations. So I'm going to roll with the Ramblers as well, heading back to the Final Four. Uh, I certainly think Houston will keep the game close. I think it'll be a very close Elite Eight game, but I think Loyola is the team playing a little bit better right now.
Definitely.
So we both have Loyola Chicago in the Final Four. Will it happen? Who knows? But that's what we have. So stay tuned to Making the Madness. We will be out with some more previews.